All right, we're ready for another little organization project. Now I want you to see, this is a permanent long-term food storage program here that we're going to put together. And these are just some shelving that our homeowner has put in. This is a really narrow room. It's about 5 feet by, I would say, 16 feet long. And all there is these nice sturdy shelves. You can see how they've reinforced them underneath. Do you see that? And then just 2x4s in the front. But they're really, really nice and sturdy. At the bottom here, they've left enough room so that we can put 2x4s and then stack our buckets under there. So those are going to be our long-term food storage buckets, things like wheat, rice, sugar, and I'll show you that when they're all labeled. So these are the empty shelves. This is what we're working with. And in about an hour and a half, we're going to fill it, organize it, label it, and you're going to see a great end result. Here we go. Well, it's finally time for our big reveal, and this is what we've done with this pantry space. I'm going to first give you a long shot so you can see what we've done all the way down here, and then you can see our buckets at the bottom, and then I'll explain to you really quickly what we did. So we began at the bottom. This is where we put all of her bulk foods, like brown rice, powdered sugar, white rice, flour, it keeps going down, wheat, all of her grains and things like this. And you'll notice that we're using gamma lids. These are great because they just screw off really easily. I need 2 hands. Oh, looks like I got it. But we have different colors for different foods. And inside each one, we have a scoop. So it's really easy for her to replenish. So this happens to be brown rice, and we've labeled it so she knows exactly where it is. It's so easy. And you always want to have a working bucket so that when you want to refill to your pantry, you just come down to this working bucket, scoop out and replenish, and then, you know, it's just really so simple. Then when you're done with this bucket and there's no more rice in it, you'll just open one of your other buckets that are in your food storage, pour it in, and again, that becomes your working bucket. So we have different color lids for different foods. There's red for sugar, blue for rice, and then green, and it goes on and on and on down the row. Isn't that nice? Now, I encourage her to put down 2x4s because you never want to have your food buckets be in contact with the concrete floor. This will just rob, you know, it's just important to have the oxygen rotating around your food. So she's going to put 2x4s at the bottom. Okay, then we have these, and she bought all of her food in cases. So there's 6 cans in a case, and you can see that each one is labeled. This has milk. This has, let's see if we can get it. This has more milk, and this has, for example, freeze-dried corn, and it says exactly how many are in the case. So let's say that in here there's 6 freeze-dried corn. Let's say she takes one out. She's going to take a pen or a Sharpie and just cross out how many she took out. So if she took out 1, she'll cross off so that it's 5, and she'll always know what's in her food storage. So on this first shelf, we made all of this, all of her powdered dairy products, and you'll see that we labeled the shelf as dairy. It goes all the way down. Isn't that great? She has powdered eggs, powdered cheese, powdered buttermilk. It just goes on and on. She even has chocolate country cream milk, which is really great. At the end here, you'll see we have meats. These are freeze-dried meats. She has beef, chicken, and ground beef, chicken dices, and beef dices. So it's really great because they're all together. On the second shelf are her beans. I love these labels because you know what? I can laminate them at home. You can pick up a really inexpensive laminator. In fact, we're going to have them on our website really soon because they're just something you have to have in your home. You can just print these off on the computer, run them through your laminator, and you're done for just so much less than you would purchase at the copy store. So you can just tailor your whole food storage just for you. You can see in this one she has 4 black turtle beans and 2 cans of Great Northern beans. So it's really nice to have them all labeled. You know exactly what you're looking for. So again, this is the whole shelf just of beans and then all of her veggies. You can see we have a label here for veggies. And these are all freeze-dried and dehydrated vegetables. The next one is going to be fruits. So she has everything from apple slices, apple cinnamon chips, bananas. Everything is alphabetized in order from right to left. And you can see how nice they stack on their sides like this. So if you have shelves that are a little more narrow where you can't stack your number 10 cans one on top of another, it's a great idea just to have them labeled in boxes and then just put them on their sides just like that. Now you can see up here we have another section that's baking. This is all of her sea salt, her yeast, her Vital Wheat gluten, all of those things. And then we even have a drink section where she has powdered drinks so that she, in a case of an emergency, she's not only drinking water. So we have things in our online store like powdered lemonade, powdered orange drinks, just things like that that kind of keep the kitties happy if they have to drink lots of water. There are her grains, and then at the very, very top here, you can see very top shelf, I've put extras. So if you have anything extra, there's her red feather butter, anything that won't fit, or if you have doubles. And here's the key. Do you see how these two on the end? It's actually peaches and berries. And if you come down to the fruit section, it'll match up with these first two that are in the front as well. So those, she'll know that she always has extras at the top. So again, this is her long-term food storage, all in number 10 cans. Everything else she has up in her pantry, but this seems to work really well. And again, these shelves are only about 2.5 feet deep and probably 10 feet wide, and it fits all of this. Now we've left some room on the sides there. See at the end, this is where she's going to stack all of her 5-gallon water barrels. And this also you want to have off the concrete, so it's going to go on a 2x4, and she can stack them 12 high if she wants, which is perfect for her family. And then on this side, where the stool is, or the little ladder, she's going to have room for all of her extra buckets of wheat and rice and all that, and they can easily be stacked. And these ceilings go about 13 or 14 feet high. So it's really great. This room has been really well used, and I think with the labels, to make it really clear, it's so simple to find what you're looking for. I hope you've enjoyed this little before and after. See you next time. Now here's a pantry space that we're just going to redo really quick. It'll take about 20 minutes. There's just kind of a mishmash. This is overflow from the kitchen, so it's some bulk food, but it just doesn't really have any rhyme or reason. So we're going to add a couple baskets, and we are going to make a little more sense of this space. Here we go. Okay, and now for this reveal. Honestly, this took about 10 minutes to put together because there wasn't that much in here, but just a matter of grouping things together. These are all of her baking supplies. Do you see how we labeled the shelf? Baking supplies. So she has her vanilla, chocolate chips, her gluten, her yeast, everything that she needs for backup baking. And do you see how she buys things in bulk, and then she'll use smaller containers in her pantry to fill them up so that it's not so cumbersome in there in the kitchen. This next one is our breakfast and cereal department. So she has maple syrup, peanut butter, and then her larger boxes of boxed cereal, because remember, we like to use the cereal in the nice gallon containers, and then this is what's left over. If you have a place like that, it's nice to store it here. Then the next one is a shelf for snacks and pasta. These are just random things that she had packaged. So what we did was we just put all of her pastas in one basket. So she pulls out the basket, she takes what she needs, and there you go. It's just really easy to put loose things in here. And then snacks, see how nice that fits on the shelf. And I love adjustable shelves because it makes everything fit just really well. Down here, we have cans of her fruits. Now she has a bunch of these in 1-gallon containers in her pantry in the kitchen, but this is an overflow, remember, and so these are things that maybe she wants to experiment with or she just has more of. So we have fruits, we have vegetables. On the next shelf we have dairy products because she's going to be making her yummy homemade pantry mixes, so she's going to have lots of those dairy products. And then here are her beans. At the very bottom we put a section just for vinegars, oils, and condiments, and you can see that by placing things on their side sometimes it just fits better, and of course that's labeled as well. So you see how you can turn just an ordinary pantry space into something really functional and clean just by grouping like items together. You can do this in your home just as easily. Have fun with your organizing project and let me know how it goes.